What is going on, everybody? And it's not every day that you get called out. That's right. Somebody had the tenacity and the courage to call me out on something. And this is kind of a new feeling because this doesn't happen very often. For whatever reason, it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's serious. And you know what? Shit's about to get real, let me tell you. But anyway, alright, this video is going to be a response to my good buddy, Nate, aka... Oh, never mind. I almost forgot. He's not called that anymore. My good buddy, just Nate. Okay. He made a video about remasters in gaming today and why there are so many remasters this generation and why a lot of remastering for last gen is pretty pointless. And he also talked about my video, which was talking about what is next gen gameplay briefly. So I'm going to briefly talk about what he had to say about my video, and then I'm going to talk about what he actually said in his video. So, alright. I understand that there are people out there, lots of people, that they want to see new things in gaming. They want to see innovation in gaming. They want to see what an actual next gen is like. Almost like a lot of people got to experience the leap between the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64, because that was a huge leap in gaming. And people want to see something like that again. However, man, I feel like you missed one slight point about my video. I understand people want all that stuff, but nobody can really answer what they actually want. I mean, you can definitely say, I want to see innovation. I want to see next-gen gameplay. But what is it? Can you give some brief examples on what that might be? See, that's the thing. Nobody can really answer what really would be innovating for gameplay today. And before I made that video, it's like I said, I thought long and hard on what that might be. And I've come to the conclusion personally that I don't think you could really do much to innovate or change core gameplay today. I think we might have hit a peak in gaming when it comes to the actual gameplay. And really the only thing you could do with games today is just basically make them look better, have a good presentation, and have them work properly. That's really the only things you can really do, in my opinion, with games today. And the example you brought up, being one of your favorite games from last year, which by the way was also one of my favorite games from last year too, was Shadow of Mordor. But did Shadow of Mordor really innovate anything in gaming? Did it really feel like you're playing a next generation game? See, even though I loved Shadow of Mordor, to me it just felt like I was playing Assassin's Creed in a Lord of the Rings setting. Now, see, I loved that, because as you know, and others do, I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the series. So I loved Shadow of Mordor. But at the same time, Shadow of Mordor, to me, did not innovate anything in gaming. But see, I'm okay with that, honestly, because the game was still really damn good. Even though, to me, it didn't innovate anything, it was still a really good game. And honestly, at this point, that's all I really, at least for me, that's all I really expect from games, is that as long as they're just really good games, it doesn't matter to me whether they innovate anything or not. Because as we've seen many times, sometimes when a developer tries to innovate something, it ends up possibly, potentially, backfiring. So, all I want to see is just good, solid games. Whether they innovate or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to see good, solid games. So, yeah, that's about it for that part. Now, I would like to talk about your video when mentioning remastered games. Hopefully this doesn't go too long, because there's a lot of things I have to say about remastered games. So I hope I'll keep it brief as best as I can. You mentioned that it's perfectly fine for games that you can't find in stores anymore to be remastered, and I completely agree. The best example off the top of my head is when they remastered Final Fantasy X, X-2 in HD for PS3. That was really great because not only is that one of my favorite, that's probably my favorite Final Fantasy of all time, newer gamers today can now play that and experience a game that they've never played before. That's great, and not to mention, people can even played it back then. Maybe they don't own the game anymore for whatever reason. They can now pick it up again. I completely agree with that. Unfortunately, I have to slightly disagree with you saying that games from last gen really have no business being remastered. Now, I can agree that there are some games from last gen that really have no business being remastered. I'm playing one right now. It's called Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I'm playing it on the PS4, and guess what? The graphics have a slight boost, but nothing else has been improved. So, to me, that had no business being remastered. But, to me, remastered games from last gen is a case-by-case basis. There are some games that, in my opinion, do deserve the remaster treatment. Then there are games, like the one I just mentioned, that don't. And yes, you are correct, man. I'm the one that said that BioShock 1 should be remastered. I said that. I'm surprised you didn't know it was me because I don't really see anyone else saying that. I'm pretty much the only one that I know of that said that. But anyway. Yeah, I said that. And you are right. We don't need that game to be remastered. However, that's just something that I personally want to see happen because I'm a huge fan of the first BioShock game. It's definitely in my top 5 games of last gen. It might be number 1. I've never really sat down to think about my top 5 games of last gen. There's a future video right there I can make, but it might be number 1, but it's definitely my top 5. So not only would I like to see it as a fan, I would also like to see what they could do with a game like that with today's technology. Because gaming has advanced so much on a technological level since 2007 when that game came out. So I would be interested to see how that game would look and how it would perform and all that based on what we have today. Now, once again, you're right, we don't need it. That's just something I want. See, and that kind of goes into my main point. You may not be the audience for something like that, but the audience is out there. The audience does exist. You may not be the audience for it, but I'm the audience for something like a BioShock remaster. And I'll give you another good example that I think could benefit from a remaster. Me personally, I would love to see Call of Duty 4 or Call of Duty World War be remastered. Because those two Call of Duty games in particular are, from what I think and what I've seen so many people say, is that that's when Call of Duty really hit its peak. That's when Call of Duty was not only very popular, but it was also well received by most of the gaming public. If they were to remaster those games today, not only would old school gamers who played the early Call of Duty games probably go pick them up and have fun with the game, the newer school gamers who probably play Call of Duty today might not have played those older Call of Duty games for whatever reason. Maybe they were too young, or maybe they just missed out. So not only do you please the old school Call of Duty fans, you also can show it off to new school Call of Duty fans, and it becomes a new game to them. See, that's really kind of the point I think you missed when you're talking about remaster games, is that there's an audience for some of these games. And to them, these games would not be an old game that gets remastered. It would be a new game that they never played before. Now, I understand that you said that these games are still available in stores. They're on the 360 and the PS3, and you can just go out and get them on the 360 and PS3. Yes, but what you fail to realize is not every single person owns a 360 or a PS3. I would have advised against this, but some people have actually traded in their 360 and PS3 towards a PS4 and an Xbox One. I personally myself wouldn't do that, but some people have to do what they have to do because that's what they want to get the newer systems. And they felt they had to trade in their older consoles for credit. Like I said, I personally wouldn't have done it, but that's what those people did. You also have to understand there are some people who probably never owned a 360 or PS3, but they own an Xbox One or a PS4. So they wouldn't be able to pick up those games on a 360 or PS3 because they never owned that console. Like, I'll give you an example. My younger brother, he had a 360. He traded in his 360 and all his games and all his stuff towards an Xbox One because that's what all his friends were getting, and that's what he was really hyped about. And he's never played. He's a big Call of Duty fan, but he's never played Call of Duty 4 or World at War or even Modern Warfare 2. So if they were to get remastered, he'd be able to play it and enjoy those games. So, I mean, that's... And I can probably beat a dead horse here, but that's kind of the point I think you miss, is that there's an audience for some of these remaster games. Now, once again, like I stressed, not every single game needs to be remastered. Like Sleeping Dogs, that to me, that was a complete waste of time. But there are other last-gen games that could benefit from it. And before I end this video, I would like to give you an example for me, based on a game that was last-gen that I never played that was remastered. And you, Nate, I remember telling you this, actually, now that I think about it, the Metro games. There's a Metro 2033 remastered bundle pack for PS4 and Xbox One. I never played the earlier Metroid, the earlier Metro games on 360 or PS3. I never played them. So to me, if I were to pick that up, even though it's a remaster, I've never played those games before, so to me, it's a new game, and not only that, it's probably going to look a hell of a lot better, it's probably going to perform a hell of a lot better. So to me, even though I still own my 360 and PS3, there's really no point in me actually going out and getting those versions. So, I think that's about it. And I just think you kind of missed the point a little bit when it comes to remasters and my video, but your video was still great, man. I still enjoyed watching it. You still brought up a lot of good points, and as always, I appreciate you or anyone else actually taking the time to watch any of my videos. It's greatly appreciated, and hope you enjoyed this video, man. Let me know what you think, and anyone else who watches this, please let me know what you think, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.